Howdy fellow RC enthusiasts, this is Alan Williams from Alan Williams Backyard RC, and today we're going to be reviewing the Traxxas E Revo, this big boy right here, and we're going to be doing some pros and cons on it. If you're watching this, you're probably thinking about buying one, so I highly suggest that you watch the whole video first. I've owned this vehicle for a year and a half, 2 years, and I've had a lot of fun with it, but it was not like that when I first got it. I was disappointed in it. I actually had some problems with it right out of the box. I got aggravated. I put it up for 3 months, got it back out, called Traxxas support, watched YouTube, ordered some parts, took care of the problems I was having with it. That's what I want to share with you guys today, so that you're not disappointed when you buy it. There's a couple extra things that I suggest that you purchase. And but for right now, here's some clips that I want to show you of how it's running now and how much fun it is. And then after the clips, we'll come back. I'll take the lid off this thing and I'll show you what upgrades I've made on it, the prices. There'll be some links down below. So let's watch these videos, have some fun, and I'll get back with you in just a moment. rain heading this way. Cars are waterproof, but the camera's not. So that's a wrap. Thank you for watching those clips. I always enjoy making them. That's the best part of being a YouTube creator, is getting to drive these around and have fun with them. Definitely do have a lot of fun with them. But we'll get right to it. If you guys are thinking about buying these, we're going to go over some things. I'm going to switch to my GoPro camera right now so I can get you guys a close-up and explain it in detail. Tops. That's definitely a pro. That allows you to get it rocking back and forth. That's part of the self-righting feature on it. It's pretty cool. We'll flip it open. It's got, you can see it's got body braces right there that hold it together and make it sturdy, help protect the top. There's no cracks on this body. Of all the stuff that I've done on it, there's no cracks anywhere on it. The one thing I do know that these bodies are like 70 bucks. And what I found is that right here, these screws that mount that chassis on the back, they'll start to pull through right here. And I do notice on mine it started pulling through here and on this side. So they do make a body reinforcement kit. It's $8. I think that's a cheap fix to save a $70 body. I don't have them on here yet. I ordered them. Unfortunately, they didn't get here in time to put this video on, but hey, that just gives me another excuse to make a video. So, you know, $8, you save a $70 body. It's really recommended that you probably get that when you purchase the car. Just, there'll be links below where you can pick this stuff up. So we'll set this off to the side. Okay, so now that I have the body off, one of the first things you're going to want to do is buy a chassis brace. It's $10. These limiting straps were $8.77. And then I attached them to the shock camber system. And I'll explain why we did that here in just a second. So when you first buy these, it's kind of hard to do it, but when you're jumping them, there's a load on them. And then when you jump, the tire goes down. And it actually pulls that drive shaft out of the socket right here. So the other thing it does is these rod ends on both ends, these push rods that go to the shock, it'll actually pull them out or stretch them. It'll just rip the threads right out of that plastic piece. And the same for up here. The lighting's not real good, but this shock right here is attached up underneath there. There's a screw up underneath there and it's attached, and them rod ends will get stretched out on the shocks and you got to replace them. So right off the bat, when you buy this vehicle, I highly suggest you just buy the chassis brace. You get it from Traxxas, probably get it from Amazon. Like I said, there'll be some links below. You put this limit strap on there, it takes nothing to do. And then we'll get down in here where I can see it a little bit better. And I put this spacer in here. I'll get a link for the spacers. If you want to buy some, you can actually make your own. That one there is just a piece of airline that I cut. A snippet of airline I cut at work, and I just got a longer screw and screwed it down through there. I will make a video. I'll take this, the next video I make, I'm going to take this and I'll show you how to install it. It's no big deal. It was $19. I actually had to call Traxxas about this particular problem, and the guy was really helpful. He told me about the chassis brace that they sold, and then he got on YouTube and found the video explaining to me about this. Okay, so that takes care of the rear end. So on the front end, you have the same setup with the shocks. So then the lighting's a little bit better up here, but you have the same setup. You can see if I can push that one a little easier. Okay, so you can see as you push up, it pushes in on the shock, and as you go down, it pulls. Okay, so that'll actually pull, you know, these out. It'll actually pull the ends of the shocks out. So if you want to do the same thing on the front, I didn't on this one because I haven't had the problem, but there's actually a convenient little, on the body mount where the body clips to, it's got these convenient little slots, and then you could probably just run a limiting strap down maybe to this hole right here. So when it goes down, you know, it pulls on the limiting strap and the limiting strap stops it. But I've not had a problem with it on the front, so I haven't done that. If I do, I will do that. But you can see, you don't want to let go of that. That's pulling right there. It's pulling down here. And then it's pulling right here. Excuse me. So that's basically the same thing that was happening on the back. I haven't had that problem on the front. I suppose because the back weighs more. I don't know. Okay, so one other thing I suggest you guys do is, we'll turn this around, and you can see that this vehicle has two steering servos. So it's very important that these two steering servos are in sync with each other, so they're not fighting each other. And as you can see, I had to replace these. And the reason I had to replace them, and I didn't know this at the time, these are Savox. They got titanium gears in them. They're really nice. They're good for these big heavy tires and grass and stuff. I haven't had any trouble with them. I got a link down below. They are kind of pricey. If you guys want to purchase them, when you buy these, you kind of have to buy them as a set. You can't really just replace one at a time. If you're switching to this kind of servo versus another side, they'll just be fighting each other. So make sure whatever you do, you get the same exact servos if you got to replace them. So I'm going to flip this over for a second. Okay, so I flipped this over, and this is underneath the vehicle. You remove these guards. You can kind of see the links, how they're linked together. There's a steering arm right here, your adjustment buckle, rod that goes across. There's another one, another turnbuckle that attaches these. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this little screw out, and I'll show you guys how to do this in another video. But before you get this out, you're going to want to take this, pull that screw out, and make sure that them holes are lined up really good. Because if they're not lined up really, this won't cost you anything to do. I didn't find this out until after I already burned up 2 steering servos. So all you do is take these out when it's brand new out of the box, unhook one of them, put power to the car, and then you can see it going back and forth. Okay, get them centered up where you want them centered up. Take that screw out, then adjust this turnbuckle, and this turnbuckle, however you got to do it, adjust this turnbuckle, and get that hole lined up with the steering linkage. Once you do that, then the holes will be lined up and the steering servos won't be fighting each other, and that'll save you from having to spend a whole bunch of money. Okay, one last thing we're going to address as far as the pros and the cons is that where you put the batteries at, they go in here, right? That's plastic, and that's, plastic. And then there's plastic back up in there, you can't see it too good. So basically, and it's got this foam rubber piece, I've got it in here. So basically you're limited on the size of the battery. So you can't just take any old battery and throw it in here with a Velcro strap like you can on some other RC cars. But what I'm finding out is I use this battery right here. I don't use Traxxas batteries. I think Traxxas batteries are too expensive. So what I've done is I've just taken some Dean's connectors and soldered them on the end. You don't have to use Dean's connectors. You can use a different connector. And then I bought, for this particular vehicle, I bought this battery. I got the measurements, the height, the width, the length, and the depth of it. And when you order batteries online, that was on there. I've got a link for these. They fit in there perfect. I mean, they fit in there nice and snug. See, I got the foam pad in there, and I got just enough room for the wires, no problem. Comes out. So this is a 700 milliamp battery, 100 C discharge rate, 3 cell, 11.1 volts. So, and it does take 2 of those. So, yep, and then I throw the battery on the floor. So, anyways, that is, I don't know if that's really a con, but you are limited on the size of the batteries, but there are plenty of options out there. So just keep that in mind when you order batteries. Make sure that you know what the measurements of this box is before you buy them. And Traxxas batteries are, like I said, they're pretty expensive. So that's why I switched mine over to Dean's connectors. You don't have to do that. You can buy Traxxas batteries. There's nothing wrong with the battery itself. It's just overpriced as far as I'm concerned. However, I do want to point out, if you switch over to this style of battery connector, it's not waterproof. At this connection where you plug that in, it's not waterproof. It's not waterproof. So you're going to want to be real careful. I've got a little bit of silicone that I put around where I put the ends on it. That way no water, dirt get down in there, sort it out. But you don't have to do that. But just keep in mind that these aren't waterproof. I found that out the hard way. I was driving another vehicle, not this one, got it wet and ruined a 2S battery. You know, luckily it was a 2S. It wasn't one of my real expensive ones, but it ruined the battery. We'll switch back to the main camera and give you my final thoughts. If you like these kind of videos, please hit the subscribe button. That always helps the channel out a lot. Don't forget to leave a comment below. If you got some other fixes or had some other problems that I've not had, please feel free to share them. We love them. We love the comments people leave. Click the like button. Hit the notification bell if you want notifications when I make more videos. That always helps out. One of the pros of this vehicle is also these nice big wide tires. They get tons of traction. I don't care what you're driving off. You're driving in the stone, dirt, grass, whatever. When you take off, I mean, they get so much torque they'll, you know, flip the car over backwards, do wheelies and stuff like that. If you're on asphalt, depending on what kind of terrain you're on, if you hit the brakes, the car will actually flip over forward from these tires getting traction. They balloon out and they do what's called a, they look like pizza cutters. They thin out. The seals are still holding up on them. The tires aren't separating. They're good tires. The tech support you get from Traxxas is really good too. It's definitely a good thing. You can get on their website. They've got forums you can check if you're having problems. Just curious about what other people are doing for upgrades. They have an 800 number where you can call. You can get help if you're having trouble with something and you can't find an answer for it. That's actually how I found the chassis brace, the problem to fix the drive shaft popping out with the chassis brace and the limiting strap. The guy gave me the part number for the chassis brace, gave me a link for the, emailed me a link for the limiting straps, which I actually bought on Amazon. Super professional, super nice. I had another coworker of mine, he's got two Traxxas vehicles, they're 1/16, I don't know what kind they are. And the kids were running them through mud puddles, running them in the grass. For whatever reason, they quit working. They're young kids, so I'm sure they were wrecking them and doing all kinds of stuff that probably not supposed to do with the RC cars to start with. He called Traxxas up. He just wanted to make sure that he was ordering the right parts and that he didn't get something he didn't need. So the guy was helpful with him. He told him, assured him he had the right parts. He was telling him the story about how the cars got broke, and he had his two young kids right there, had him on speakerphone while he was talking to them. And the gentleman from Traxxas actually started speaking to the kids, told them to have fun, take them out, bash them as hard as you want, break them, drive it like you stole them. And he literally sent the parts for free. Didn't charge this gentleman shipping, sent the parts for free, told them kids to have a blast. You just keep doing what you're doing and have fun. I mean, how's that for tech support, you know, when they're talking to your kids like that? So, you know, I think that's awesome. And aside from that, I mean, these things are just crazy fast. They're lots of fun. You can do flips, you can do tricks, you can do jumps. I mean, you can drive them anywhere. I don't recommend maybe driving them in the water, but other than that, you can drive them wherever you want. So, I mean, for me, the pros far outweigh the cons. By far, it's my favorite vehicle, and I enjoy it. After I got it fixed initially, I've had tons of fun with it. I haven't had any troubles with it. So again, thank you for watching Alan Williams' Backyard RC, and keep an eye out for the next video. Thank you.